If you're watching this video, then you're contemplating bankruptcy, you're considering it as to how it would affect you. The first piece of advice I would give you is take a deep breath and relax. Because I'm going to tell you right up front that in 99% of the cases, the bankruptcy is a simple procedure, it doesn't involve going to court, and it's literally over in 90 to 120 days. If you're like most people, the number one question on your mind is, if you file bankruptcy, is somebody going to back a truck up and haul away everything you own? So let's start out right now that the answer to that is no. In the vast majority of cases that we have, the client gives up no property. And that is because you have certain exemptions or protections that the law allows you to literally take property and assets and set them aside, in essence take them off the table. Nobody can touch them. Your cars, your house, your 401k, money that you have in the bank that you earned within the last 6 months, your clothes, your furniture, savings for college, all of those types of accounts and assets can be exempted under the bankruptcy code. Now, one of the things that we do when we meet face-to-face with a client is to get all of this basic information from them. Where do they work? What do they own? Who do they owe money to? All of that type of basic information. And then we tell them how the bankruptcy code is going to apply to that situation. If there are any bumps in the road that we need to smooth out before we file, because often there is a significant amount of pre-bankruptcy filing to make sure that when every case gets filed, the bumps in the road have been leveled out and everybody knows exactly what's going to happen. Now let's review very briefly the bankruptcy procedure and how a case is done. As I said a moment ago, you come into the office, we get information from you in order to give you a idea of how the bankruptcy would work in your situation. If you decide to go forward, we give you a questionnaire to complete, which is basically the information about, what do you own, who do you owe money to, how much do you make, what are your expenses. Basic information that most people have readily at hand. Once you've completed that questionnaire and we've again met and reviewed it, we then prepare the papers that get filed with the bankruptcy court. Once the bankruptcy is filed, a couple of things happen. First of all, an automatic stay goes into effect. That is essentially a freeze on all collection activity. No more telephone calls, no more letters, any lawsuits or mortgage foreclosure actions stop immediately. The other thing that happens is the court appoints a trustee who is in essence an overseer of your case. About a month after filing, you and I go together. We meet with the trustee. It's typically a very short meeting, 5 minutes is long. You'll already know the questions you're going to be asked and you'll already know what the answers to those questions are. Once the meeting with the trustee is concluded, your case is effectively over. In 95% of the cases, we do nothing there but wait until we receive the order of discharge and the order closing the case, and it's done. And all of the debts that we've listed for discharge are effectively wiped out. They don't exist anymore. And you then start the process of rebuilding your credit and moving on with your life. Now, one of the things about post-bankruptcy, one of the great myths I find, is people think that if they file bankruptcy, then their credit, their borrowing ability is destroyed for 7, 10 years. That is a complete myth. You can completely rebuild your credit and be as good or better than your credit score ever was within 24 months of filing the bankruptcy. So we help you to start down that road of how to rebuild your credit. So it doesn't just end at the bankruptcy, it ends in the process of rebuilding your credit and getting that fresh start that bankruptcy is all about.